Hello, everybody. I'm Melissa, and welcome back to Book Bar, and welcome to another Trope Tuesday recommendation video. Today is a little bit different because I couldn't decide on like a trope that I wanted to do, and I decided it'd be fun to make a spinner wheel and just do a bunch of different tropes and do one book for each trope. So I have 85 tropes written down on this spinner wheel, and I'm gonna spin. I'm gonna do 10. And then if I have time, I'll screen record the 10. And then, I'm gonna scoot over. And then if I have time, I'll do more later. But I'll do the 10 and do a recommendation for each book. And then we'll go from there. So I'm gonna go ahead and record my screen. And so yeah, I have like Grumpy Sunshine, Surprise Baby, Secret Baby, Mafia, all sorts of different tropes. And so we're just gonna go ahead and spin. Come on. Okay, so the first one is single parent, and I'm going to go with a recent one that I have really enjoyed, and that is Homebound by Meredith Trapp. So this is a single dad and a bull rider, and Dakota is the heroine, and she is a female bull rider, and she lives in this small town in Texas, and she used to be best friends with the hero. I cannot think of what his name is. But it's the problem with doing this recommendation is I don't have my notes in front of me, so I can't like write down names or whatever. It's off the cuff. Going with it. I was gonna do 10 and then go get the books, but we're just gonna do when I have it come up. So the hero is a single dad to a little girl, and he goes back home to visit his parents, and he has always been in love with Dakota, and I think his name is Wyatt, and he basically tells Dakota, hey, I'm staying with you, and yeah, things go from there. It was adorable. I loved it. Yes. And normally I do a book on my TBR, so if I can think of one like off the top of my head that I know is on my TBR, I'll do it. And the one that I know off the top of my head that is on my TBR is Mad Love by Willow Astor. This is in her new series. It's all a bunch of single dads. So yeah, that's that. Now we're gonna do the next one and spin. New adult. Okay, so for new adults, I am actually going to go with Rally by Devney Perry. This is the third book in the Treasure State Wildcats book. This is Rush and Faye, and Rush and Faye meet because they have a really good meet cute. Faye decides she's gonna go camping, and she gets a flat tire while camping, and Rush helps her. So they spend the night like hanging out, talking, getting to know each other. And at that time, they're both in relationships, but they both are unhappy in their relationships, and so they just kind of like nothing happens. They go their separate ways. Then they meet up one night at a bar. A couple months later, after all this, they've both broken up with their past significant others. They sleep together, and they end up having a baby from their sleeping together. And yeah, it was super cute, angsty, emotional, like it was a gut punch for a little while there, and I really enjoyed it. I can't think of any other new adult romances off the top of my head that are like on my immediate TBR, so yeah, I don't know, we don't have another one. I'm sure if I like did some research, I could find one, but yeah. So we're recording the next one. A self-made man. A lot of these happen in historicals. It's more of a historical thing, obviously. A man that is he's not part of the aristocracy. He's not a duke or a viscount or any of that stuff. He became something with his own two hands. And we're gonna go with none other than Reese Winterbourne from Marrying Winterbourne by Elise Kleypas. Elise Kleypas loves a self-made man. A lot of her heroes are self-made men. Marrying Winterbourne is the second book in the Ravenels series, which follows a bunch of siblings. And this one is, why can't I think of her name? But she basically ends up in this, she ends up marrying Reese Winterbourne, and Reese is the owner of a, basically like a giant Macy's, but like even more, like, it's like if Macy's and Target had a baby, kind of. So yeah, he is a self-made man, and yeah, so basically that is that one. I can't think of any off the top of my head that I know of that are self-made men. But so that's 3 we've done so far. I'm actually having fun with this. And we're gonna do the next one, which will be Marriage of Convenience. Okay, so for Marriage of Convenience, we are going to go with Skies Over Caledonia by Samantha Young. This is the 4th book in the Adair family series, and this follows Allegra Howard. Don't have an Adair in it. Allegra Howard and Jared McCulloch, and Jared is the, if you read the Adair family series, there's like a small town farmer who doesn't get along with the Adairs, and he is his grandson. And Allegra Howard is Aria from book 2's sister. She was the girl that Sloane kind of saved in book 1, getting into bad stuff with Sloane's ex. And she has kind of had a crush on Jared McCulloch for a while, and she's been going back and forth and spending like 6 months at a time in Scotland, spending time with her sister. And finally on her last trip, she's told, you can't keep doing this, like you're living here without living here, so this will be your last time here, like next time you can't, like you won't be able to come back. So she and Jared kind of need some help financially, and so she's like, you know what, let's get married, like let's help each other out. And that's exactly what happens, and it was adorable. There were so many instances of my wife, which I love a good my wife scene. So yeah, had a great time with that one. Loved it. And again, unless I can think of one off the top of my head, I'm not going to do one on my TBR, so I don't have any off the top of my head. So yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and get on into pick number 5. My computer is slowly dying, so it's taking forever. All right, we got our roommates. And I'm going to go with Forbidden King by Laura Pavlov. This is the 3rd book in the Magnolia Fall series, and this one follows Kingston and Sailor. And Kingston is best friends with Sailor's older brother, and Kingston and Sailor have always had a special bond because when they were younger, Sailor went and stayed with Kingston and his brother River for a while, and they just formed a really close bond, became really close, and now it's years later, and they're kind of towing the line of like something happening, but Sailor kind of she doesn't need protection, but like her mom's boyfriend is he's abusive and he's creepy, and he's made some threats. And Hayes is away. Hayes is Sailor's brother, and he is away fighting fires in California. And I think, or there's some sort of fire that he needs to put out and help with. And so he asks his friends to look in on him, and Kingston is all too willing to help. And so, of course, things are going to happen between them. But yeah, it was a great book. I really enjoyed it. Definitely one that you should read. Now for number 6, the 6th trope I'm going to go with is going to be a road trip or a quest. So a quest in like a fantasy or a road trip in a contemporary. And I am actually going to go with a fantasy, and we are going to go with Slaying the Shadow Prince by Helen Scheuerer. And on this one, this follows, I can't think of her name, and Talamir Starling. And they go, so the heroine in this she watched her village basically be destroyed by these shadow wraiths, and she is determined to wield a blade and kill all of the Shadow Wraiths. Until she meets Tanvier Starling, who is a warrior of Thesmar, and he may or may not be part Shadow Wraith because of something that happened. And they need to go and try to find the Shadow Wraiths so that she can take them out. And yeah, things go from there. It's amazing. It is technically separate from the whole actual Legends of Thesmar series, but I do think you should read it because I think it does have some context clues. I've been told different ways to read it. I read it before I read the Legends of Thesmar, and I absolutely loved it. I don't know that I would have loved it as much had I read it after, in the middle, because I think you're supposed to read it between books 2 and 3, and which is where I am. I haven't read book 3 or 4 yet, so yeah, definitely one that I suggest, and you should definitely pick up and read the whole Legends of Thesmar series. I'm pretty sure book 1 has kind of a road trip in it as well, or a quest in it as well. So yeah, that was pick number 6. That one was easy. That one just came right off the top of my head. Now on to number 7. We are going to go with, I feel like it's all staying on the same half. One Night Stand Leads to More. So again, you could go with Rally by Devney Perry, but we're not going to, because what's the fun in that? I want to do 10 different books for 10 different recommendations, or 10 different tropes, 10 different recommendations. We're going to go with my favorite. We're going with Reckless by Elsie Silver. This is Theo and Winter. This is tied for my favorite book of last year. This follows Theo and Winter. And Theo and Winter they've been in other books in the series. This is book 4 in the Chestnut Spring series. Winter is Summer from book 1's older sister, who they have kind of a rough relationship due to familial things. Summer was their dad cheated on Summer's mom and had Summer, or cheated on Winter's mom and had Summer, and so Winter's mom kind of pitted, it was she tried to take Winter and would do stuff to hurt Winter if Winter tried to stick up for Summer. So she kind of separated herself. And then of course Summer and Winter have another history involving both of their ex. And yeah, so, but now Winter wants to repair her relationship. She wants to have a relationship with her sister because she doesn't really have one with her dad because of the same stuff that her mom put her through. And she really doesn't like her mom because her mom wants her to stay with her awful, horrible husband, her ex-husband at the time. And so she goes to Wishing Well Ranch for Christmas, and there she meets Theo Silva. And Theo is the young bull rider who Rhett has taken under his wing. And so Theo and Winter have a night of passion, and sparks fly, and there's some great one-liners when they first meet, and yeah, things go from there. Some other stuff happens. 18 months pass, they see each other again. Winter's got some secrets. Theo's been holding out for her. He's been in love with her ever since, and he moves next door to her, and that one night that they had together just is never going to be enough. But yeah, absolutely one of my favorites. Definitely one that you should pick up. Now for pick number 8. Okay, a poster on the wall. This is a very niche trope. So some of these, as you can see, some of them were quite broad, and then we have some very niche ones. And of course, for this, I am going to go with no other than Kulti by Mariana Zapata. This follows Kulti and Sal, and Sal has looked up to Kulti as a soccer player forever. She's always loved him. He's always been her favorite, and he's part of the reason she plays soccer now. And now Kulti happens to be her coach, be a coach on the soccer team that she is on. And they spend a lot of time together. He is very grumpy. I don't even think in the first 50 pages he says a single word. Yeah. But it is the ultimate poster on the wall book. And if you have more, please let me know, because it is one of my absolute favorite micro tropes, and yeah, I need more. So yeah, next up, we're getting through this. Number 9. I think I could be off. I could have miscounted. We're good. Okay. Teacher student. Not one I read a ton of. I'm not a big teacher student fan, but there are a couple, and one of those is, of course, Lessons in Corruption by Giana Darling. And this follows King and Cressida. And King is his father is the head of the Fallen Men Motorcycle Club. And he's fully planning on taking over, and he goes to school, and there and his teacher, so Cressida happens to actually see King and is like instantly attracted to him, and goes home and tells her husband, or was it was either her husband or just her boyfriend, and she's like, I'm done, I want something else, and kind of blows up her life and goes and moves to and starts working at the school that King goes to, and they have some times together. It's probably my least favorite in the series. Like, the stories following King and Cressida are probably my least favorite. But it starts the whole thing off, and I definitely think it's one that if you want to read the series, it's where you got to start. You got to start at book 1. So, yeah, we're going with that. And then we're going to go with one more, because this video is getting kind of long. I know once I edit out a lot of the pauses that I've had, but we are going to just do one more, and then maybe I'll try to do a couple and try to actually, I will try to build a TBR based on what I spin. So we're going to go ahead and do one more. Let me record my screen one more time. And here we go. Book number 10. Rec number 10. Okay, a politician romance. We are going to go with The Boyfriend Candidate by Ashley Winstead. So yeah, The Boyfriend Candidate is fake dating. Basically, this guy is running for governor, I believe, and he gets like caught in a compromising situation with a librarian, and she could potentially lose her job, so they decide to fake date and make it seem like they're in love. And of course, things are going to go from there. It was fantastic. I loved it. One of my favorites. Okay, now for this one, I'm just going to pick up my laptop because I might have to do some research, but we're going to record and build a TBR based off of these tropes. Now, some of them I might not be able to find. Like, I know I've tried looking up, like, public sex and books with public sex, and it does not give you the results you were hoping for, so. Okay, Black Love. This is great. We're going to go with, I still have to read Fast by Millie something for my TBR, but that's not what I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with a book called The 7-Year Itch by Tanvier Pert. And I know that this is Black Love. She has said on her Instagram that, she is a Black author and her romances are 2 Black characters. So we're going to go with The 7-Year Itch. And I'm not going to remove those like I've been removing the other ones, because obviously if I do this again, I want to have these tropes readily available. Next up, we have A Great Meet Cute. Okay, I'm going to skip that one because it's that one's hard, because you want to read about the meet cute organically, and I don't want to go out searching for great meet cutes. I want to have an organic one and that I can talk about. Okay, Coworkers. Workplace romances on my TBR. I'll spin for 2 more, and if I have to, that way I have 4, but I will do some research, but I don't want to be recording my screen for all that. So next up, okay, A Neighbor Romance on my TBR. And the final one. Another one that I'm going to skip, because if a great grovel comes up in a book, I want it to be organic. Like, I want to read about it. I mean, I will talk about a great novel, but I don't want to, like, go search out books that have a great novel. All right, and an age gap. Okay, well, age gap, I'm going to go with Older by Jennifer Hartmann. I do really want to read this. I believe this is Best Friend's dad. And yeah, it's like they meet and they don't realize, and then they find out like later who the other one is. So yeah, I'm excited to read that one. Now let me do some looking up some roommate romances. Okay, we're gonna go with Count Your Lucky Stars by Alexandria Bellefleur. This is the third book in the Written in the Stars series. I read book 1 and I need to continue on in the series. But this one is sapphic and I believe it's Grumpy Sunshine. So I love that. And the other one I had to was, okay, and this one I'm going to go with The Fine Print by Lauren Asher. This is the first book in the Dreamland Billionaire series, and now that I have read all of the 30 Air series, I want to move on and read more of Lauren Asher's backlist. So yeah, that's definitely one that is on there. Yeah, that is it. Those are my 10 random trope recommendations and 4 books to put on my TBR. Let me know down in the comments what your favorite trope is and what your favorite book for that trope is. And leave me if there's like a wheel, leave me that, whether it's a Ferris wheel, some sort of wheel. It could even be a like tire. So leave me some sort of wheel emoji, and don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all the fun stuff. It really helps me out, and I'll talk to you all in the next one. Bye.